What's up, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and none of the above? This is DL bringing you more KSL Sinnoh Melee content. It's another week 1 battle between Romeo Dude and JG, the King of Kings. Just to show you a preview of the matchup, since this is a Generation 4 battle, so there's no team preview. We got Romeo Dude. So again, the T-Tar, Gliscor, Zam, Jolteon, Vaporeon, Hitmonchan, Dusclops, Rapidash, Vileplume. First is JG. It's got the Fire Water Grass Core, the Suicune, Shaman, Entei, Espeon, Steelix, Hariyama, Raichu, Mach, Vespiquen. So the big thing that stood out from JG's draft analysis is that he doesn't have any hazard removal. But luckily Romeo only has rocks for hazard. He doesn't have any spikes, so that shouldn't be too big of an issue. But Romeo also has a massive grass weakness. His only grass resists are his tier 5s, the Rapidash and the Vileplume. So the Shaman could be a really big threat, especially since it does get access to both Earth Power and Psychic to hit the grass resist super effectively. So I definitely look out for Shaman. I'd say it's probably JG's biggest threat in this matchup. Suicune definitely pretty good as well, but Vaporeon does get water absorbed, so that's pretty nice for shutting that down. And I think Entei is actually going to struggle quite a bit into the Vaporeon, T-Tar, Gliscor core, especially without Sacred Fire. So I'd expect the Vespiquen to definitely get set. I think that's really kind of an unmon. And I don't really see any reason for Mach to come against top 3 of T-Tar, Gliscor, Zam. And on the opposing side, you definitely is probably going to bring, I expect maybe especially defensive Vileplume to try to deal with the Shaman. And maybe like even especially defensive Dusclops could be pretty good, even though it doesn't get EV Light, it's still pretty fat. So I could definitely see some of those coming. The Hitmonchan's got a pretty decent matchup, so that could come. I could definitely see the Jolteon getting sat. There's double electric immunity between Steelix and Raichu. I think Raichu gets Volt Absorb this gen. And then Shaman obviously is very, very threatening and kind of destroys Jolteon 1v1. So I think the Jolteon might get sat. He does have really good speed control still with Zam. So there's also no Dark type. Yeah, the only Psychic resists are Espeon and Steelix. So Zam's also pretty strong from Romeo's side. And lead-wise, I'd expect maybe a T-Tar lead could be pretty solid, and on either like Steelix or I think a Shaman lead would be really strong. So you're gonna see the Vileplume lead, probably expecting the Shaman lead, starting with the one thing that matches off well against it, as you see Hariyama. I guess this is kind of similar to the Machamp lead, where you just lead with the really strong, kind of thick fighting type and hit something hard. Also gets the nice fake out, which is really nice. Reveals the black sludge. So he goes straight into Shaman on the Vileplume. That's a questionable decision. Maybe predicting a Toxic to come out, but Hariyama does get access to Guts. So I'm not sure if Romeo would have gone for that play. And abusing the natural cure on Shaman, but going straight into it seems questionable. But this does reveal that it does not do that much damage, only 53%. And the Shaman is leftover, so he should be able to tank it decently. It seems probably a fairly bulky Shaman, I'd imagine. Need to see if it has Synthesis. But with the leftovers, I could definitely see some sort of sub-Leech Seed variant being ran. So that is something that Vileplume is going to deal pretty decently with. So you see the double into the Steelix, which doesn't match up too well, but eats out the poison moves and gets up the rocks. So you see Roar, but the Leech Seed is planted and is going to give HP back to the Dusclops, which does come. It's probably especially defensive for the Shaman. Yeah, Seismic Toss is going to hit pretty well. So a Wisp is shown for the Entei, unfortunately misses. Does quite a bit of damage this gen to the Vaporeon. Vaporeon does show Toxic, which makes sense. But Shaman is a pretty good switch into this Vaporeon. I would be surprised if he went to here. Instead tries to Toxic the Vaporeon, which makes sense. Yeah, he's revealed leftovers on Hariyama. So yeah, likely carrying that Toxic then. There's a nice pivot into the Vileplume. I mean, that's just a free switch into the Hariyama, and it's gonna cover the Toxic option. Oh my. Okay, this definitely guts Hariyama, I'd say, based on this damage. And that did a ton of damage. That is going to put Shaman in a really commanding position. But the Protect with the Leech Seed is going to give this guy a ton of HP back. Hariyama has a very high base HP, So Vileplume is sucking away a lot of HP from that. So he does make the switch into Steelix. I guess he kind of catches that with Vaporeon, which covers the staying in and the Steelix option. But staying into Surf here is probably not great. I expect a Synthesis to come out from this Shaman. But it does reveal to be Leech Seed, which makes sense based on the leftovers bring. I think this is probably a subpar bring in this matchup in consideration of the Vileplume as the primary Shaman counter on Romeo's team. I would have preferred Synthesis 3 attacks with Seed Flare, Earth Power, Psychic. Especially since some of his other walls don't have too high of HP. Because you're never staying in with Vaporeon to eat a Leech Seed from Shaman anyways. Stuff like Dusclops is really low base HP. Yeah, that means the Shaman's going to get denied its form of recovery by this Vileplume as long as it's healthy. And so the Shaman won't be able to get too high up. Because a full HP Shaman that can tank a couple hits from this Vileplume with his leftovers would be a huge problem for Romeo at this point in time. Unfortunately, roars him into the Rapidash, which gets off big damage. The Licks is super fat, eats that up and takes that down. Probably seeing another Giga Drain come out here, potentially Leech Seed. Yep, Leech Seed better play, covers the anti. I expect to protect here. Yep, got this thing nice and healthy. JG maybe could have tried to abuse that and hard switch into something such as this Espeon this last turn. Probably a better move last turn. So he covers the staying in with the Vileplume option, which would have been like a strong read to make, predicting Entei to switch. But could also potentially be trying to abuse the obvious Vaporeon switch. So it looks like he is with this Calm Mind option. Oh, and the Synchronize ability is coming in nicely because he gets the Toxic off on the Vaporeon. This is really going to help out this Entei. Oh, but they Heal Bell. That's a nice tech. But the Espeon's doing big damage. Something's got to take a +1 Psychic here. Signal Beam. So he predicted a Tyranitar to show up there. Yeah, because he's got 2 Pokemon missing. I'd imagine one of them's Tar and the other one's probably Zam. And probably get bench Gliscor. So he tries to catch that. But it's going to hurt him a bit. Oh, he gets the Confusion, though. And the Confusion hits himself. That's unfortunate. But the nice Shadow Sneak tech on the Dusclops picks off the Espeon, which definitely did look threatening against Romeo's draft. Shaman's able to get a little bit of HP back that turn. Yeah, Shaman's the scary mon. He always has to click. This is too big of a risk to just let it fire off an attack for free there with like a Giga Drain Leech Seed. So he does pull out the Tyranitar. There's only one mon left to show for him. Roars again, pulls T-Tar again, and it's just getting super healthy with leftovers every turn. And he eventually pulls the Zam. So it just shows Zam. And it lives that Life Orb Energy Ball. That's a big setback. Because now priority Shadow Sneak's down, Zam's down, Rapidash is down. So Shaman is the fastest Pokemon here now, and it bops both of these. So he has to preserve this Vileplume. He has no other way of dealing with the Shaman now. I expect a Giga Drain to come out here and just freaking end this thing already. Yeah, that Licks just pressed Roar for free from low HP for so long. I don't know why he didn't try to use his T-Tar to take out the Licks. I think the Zam was probably more important to preserve with the Espeon down. I mean, I guess he's scared of the potential of the Entei with the Vaporeon low. But Entei can very easily be taken out by Zam offensively here. What does JG have in the back? So he's shown... Oh, he's probably got Suicune in the back. But yeah, it's not like T-Tar would help with that anyways. Yeah, so this is probably the Suicune. So yeah, his Firewater Grass Core is looking very strong here with the Vaporeon so heavily weakened. Yep, and there it drops. He has to try to... Oh, yeah. So T-Tar's gonna revenge kill this. Let's go Shaman. Probably gonna click just like Seed Flare here. Yep, if it gets the Spadef drop, no Spadef drop, so that's nice for Romeo. We'll see if this is covering any good coverage moves. It's a hidden power. It hit that super effectively. What hidden power would that have been? Maybe ice to hit Gliscor harder? That could potentially have been what that was. We have that going down, barring Shannon missing. He should win. Oh, but it's Scarf Tar. It's not quite get the kill though. And that's going to be it. So JG picks up the win with Shaman. Yeah, huge matchup for him. Didn't even have to pull out the Suicune, which I'm imagining is probably the last Mon here. Yeah, I think what really did it for sending Romeo home is this whole sequence with the Steelix. I mean, I think he did misplay a bit earlier, but I think he's still in an okay position here because he's denied the Shaman recovery. We can try to keep it in range of a potential T-Tar revenge kill, with it being Scarf Tar. He's in an okay position. That's probably why he preserves it, but what he ends up doing here costs him his Sam, which is still faster than Shaman. So I think here he needs to just hit the Steelix. Making this play twice, I think, is when he already showed that his main play here is Roar. I think, obviously, he's predicting the Steelix to try to hit him this turn instead. But yeah, I think Romeo needed to change something in these turns to stay in and hit this thing with the Tar, because it'll die in 2 shots, if not 1. If he's carrying like Earthquake, maybe. I don't. Crunch would probably do it too, but it's just giving so many leftovers turns. And by the time, because he hasn't hit it at all, he actually lives the Life Orb Energy Ball, even with its poor Spadef, and then it just kills the Zam. And I think it's game from here, to be honest, because all he has to do is sacrifice the Entei to kill Vaporeon. And here he's just relying on Shaman to like miss Seed Flare on T-Tar. Like, that's the only way he wins from this position. And even from there, if this is Suicune in the back, then he loses anyways. Well, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed yet another game from the KSL Sinnoh Melee, and I hope to bring you more commentary in the future.